Uh, Before we start with the demo, first I would like to welcome you all for the demo session. So before I give my introduction, I would like to have a quick discussion from you guys, what makes you. It's an obvious question. If you're going for any training or any improvisation which you wanted to make in your existing profile, so there are a couple of things which were already decided from you, considering your uh, your existing profile at the same time, or if you would want to start your data engineering as a fresher or something which is again a new technology for you. So a couple of things just wanted to know from you guys. What Let's take quickly 5 to 7 minutes for this thing. So just brief about your current role, or kind of your background and what you're doing at the same time, and what makes you to think on learning a data engineering, so that I'll be clear at what is your goal. So accordingly, if someone is exactly new for this technology, or something is starting from zero also, it would be always welcome. So that is also fine with this technology. So just wanted to know if someone is also in a position like my projects demands that I should be knowing data engineering ingestion techniques or some technology which is available in the market. So there are possibilities. So we had a couple of students in past also, like those who want to suppose one person is already a BI engineer who is working as a presidential engineer, who would want to explore something on the data engineering perspective. So it's just an example I will give you. So let's start. I will start from Surya. Yeah, Surya, please.
Yeah, hi Suresh. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I have moved from SAP background to data engineer background recently, and I'm working as a data engineer. I want to build up my skills, including data engineer through coding and all, and also into the cloud. Also, I want to build up my skills for
Okay,
my project. So I have joined this. That's it.
you plan to, already now you recently moved to data engineering.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine.
No.
Yeah, Srinivas Rao.
One sec. Hi Suresh. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm currently working in as a Hadoop admin. I just want to move to Azure Data Engineer because in my project also they are going to implement all those things and all. So I'm
Mhm.
going to learn this one.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Pradeep.
Hi, Suresh. Good morning. So I have a totally 10 years working in the BI technologies like Cognos, Tableau, and Power BI. So just I want to move to the cloud environment. I want to aware of that what exactly do in the cloud kind of things. I need to understand the difference between. So what exactly the server and how the cloud has been initiated. Just I want to understand these kind of a concepts and move to the completely into the cloud environment kind of thing. Hello. Yeah, I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, Pradeep, you're audible. I think
Yeah,
Suresh
you're
is.
audible. You're audible. You're audible. I was just saying to Pradeep, good that you decided to explore more thing on the cloud
Yeah.
environment. So moreover, I just
Yeah.
wanted to know, earlier you had any type of an exposure or any insights towards getting know about cloud, or
No. I'm coming that to the first time to the cloud. Okay. I
okay.
cannot explore that more that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
basically that so in the past experience we are working on the Oracle and SQL Server kind of a data. So
Okay.
just I want to understand that what exactly the difference, how the initiation happened. So just I
Mm-hmm.
want to of that kind of a things also.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thanks. Vic.
Yeah. Hi, Suresh. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I am working as a BI consultant, senior BI consultant, and right now I'm working with the old-fashioned technology like SQL Server, Oracle, and some enterprise ETL tool like SSIS, right? And recently I moved into this cloud thing into my organization, so I have a little bit exposure on this cloud, but I want to deep dive into this kind of thing which you are going to start into this as you data as a as you data engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Thanks to everyone taking some time out of it, like to introduce you. At least now I'm in a position to understand the requirement for you guys to think about learning a data engineer. So moreover, if we are clear with our target, what exactly we wanted to do, so probably it could help. And in one way, you will see a couple of people who would want to start from the scratch. So that is also welcome. It is not like compulsion, like someone should be knowing this technology, then only he'll have to opt for a data engineer. So if you see down the line a fresher who is a graduate who just get trained by this data engineer and will also apply for jobs. So no harm in it. So like we'll take a couple of the demo. It's all about says like what are we going to cover uh, in this our course, and at the same time what type of tools we are going to cover in order to expose your data engineering. So what I'll do today, I'll just brief you take about data engineering concepts, at the same time our course curriculum, including like if I talk about DP 203, that's Azure Data Engineer Certification. So we would be covering the certification which got expired earlier, some concepts. Why? Because DP 200, DP 201, it's a comprised of both the things as they have launched as a DP 203. So we would be talking about the concepts which is which is required for your job responsibilities. At the same time, in the meanwhile, in future, if you would want to think in terms of certification also, it is going to help. So if you go and apply a account for a certification, DP 203 is going to be there, but in that DP 203 you'll get 40% of questions from DP 200 and 201. Though they got expired, they are no more now. I have a certified the DP 200 200, and now it is of no value. Then later I decided to give 203. So when I was giving, when anyone is giving like 203, you would be able to see those questions. So I made a curriculum in such a way that it should be comprised of three modules, and subsequently it is going to be help you in our jobs and roles and responsibilities. That is one of the thing. So before I start with this thing, I would just want to know like about my experience.
Suresh, your voice is not audible. Hello, hello. Your voice is not audible.
He's showing the slide, I think.
Oh, okay, okay,
Just we have to read from
okay.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Suresh, you can.
Sorry, I had some glitch in between, so I had to disconnect it, reconnect it again. Let me share screen.
Yeah.
So let's just give me 2 minutes of time. I mean, let me introduce myself. Uh, who am I? Suresh is a corporate trainer, a data platform consultant with more than 13 years. It's close to now 14, I can say. It's of an experience in the technology industry, specializing in curriculum designing, learning, database administration, development, e-learning, and I have a proven record of delivering the software trainings and leadership development programs to build the world-class organization to the companies. Whenever I visit the companies for a corporate training, I ensure that the candidate is no matter whatever the field is coming from. So I will give a very skilled resource to the company, providing that if they hire a freshers, so keeping certain things in their mind only they had decided one thing. So I make sure that those points whenever I was teaching to the companies. And specialization I cover some domains as data engineer, SQL and Python, and I got exposed to some other data platform technologies. SQL database it is one of the technology, including Mongo also I cover, and other set of RDBMS technologies also I cover, and Azure cloud solution models, including the architecting the solution, and AWS cloud solution models also I cover. So when not with work, Suresh loves to be with his family. With any remains of his time left, he loves to dedicate that time to gym and movies. This is all about the short introduction about myself. So let's come on to the agenda. See what makes to think our goal, like why only Microsoft Data Engineer? Expected after outcomes after you learn the course, and audience who can opt this course, and what you require to learn this course. And the course in details, I've added the curriculum here, and slowly I like what I'll do, like I'll just make you aware about a couple of concepts you already know, but you we don't aware of that points, like yeah, this is also going to be a part of data engineering. So those things I'll quickly cover for our time which is allotted. So if I talk about engineering concepts, it is down the line. If you ask me, it is going to be one of the hot cake in the market now. Competition is there, and resources are quite less compared to other technologies. People are slowly diverting their technologies from their reporting, from their analyst position to a data engineering. So the importance of having a data engineer is like he works as a mediator for data analyst, BI engineers, and data scientist. So if you are in the mid of such a position, if I talk about, so whatever data analyst, I'll show you the difference between analyst and engineering and scientist in one of the slide. So what I was trying to tell you is like why only data engineering. He is one kind of a guy who got exposed to three set of roles which is under his control. I mean to say, though you are a data engineer, what data analyst requires from you is also and what you're going to give it to BI engineers, that also what you will do, you will create some report for them, you will automate, you will add some coding technologies, you'll make sure that report is run. Obviously, like being a data engineer, you get some raw data from the customers. Okay, when you get some raw data, that raw data you make sure that that is going to be clean, and it has to be clean, it has to be transformed, it has to be analyzed, and you give us some information to them. That information is used by data scientist and data scientist and BI engineers. So that makes your job easy. Like for others, I mean, if you by any chance if you wanted to get a hands on a data scientist, that is also is going to welcome for you. Nothing, no one is going to stop you, because certain things are under your control, because you make sure that that role is like you give some report to them, maybe any of the engineering techniques to take it down the line. So according to the 2019 report, There was 88% year-to-year growth in job posting for data engineers. Yes, they just I picked this data from the web itself. And if now also if you see down the line, there is across compared to all other set of technologies, there's a huge demand for data engineer. So if you ask me down the line, I started with as application developer. Then later I was into a core development. Then I merged with several projects. Then down the line, now I work as a data engineer as well as data platform consultant. But for me also, it is an opportunity where it clicked into. So it's luckily I had a many projects to in my hand, not one technology. I had several projects in my hand. So it was a plus point, like I was able to explore other set of technologies which is coming in my way. So that's how it clicked for us. And expected outcomes after learning this course, what we are going to learn. These both the things are a part of 200, 201 and 203 also. 203, what they did, they comprised and they given some naming conventions are different. But down the line, you're going to learn Azure SQL Server. Some people might have an idea. So we would be learning some couple of deployment models what are available in your Azure SQL Server, that is on the PaaS side. We are not going to touch anything on the infra side, that is IaaS side. Moreover, we will be learning couple of deployment models, couple of several types of PaaS will provide you in terms of singleton, in terms of elastic pool, in terms of your managed instances. So those I'll be covering under Azure SQL Server. Moreover, coming on to data warehousing. So subsequently, there was one of the technology which we know earlier in terms of OLAP is data warehousing. It got replaced with your cloud by Azure Synapse Analytics. So what makes them to replacing your data warehousing as Azure Synapse Analytics, that they are coming to some conclusion that the data is growing fastly and it is driving like anything and there is no control on you. Like I should be doing something about my analyzing techniques. I'm taking some data from on-prem and from a data warehousing and I'm migrating it to my Azure data warehouse. That means there would be some level of exposure which is available on your Azure Synapse Analytics. So that also we're going to cover, including lab also we're going to take and some couple of real-time examples I'll be showing it to you that makes your job easy when you're thinking about your job context. Though it is new for me, you would be in a position that yes, boss, I know this concept and what it takes, the native or traditional methods you might be knowing already. What makes to that replacement of traditional methods over your cloud technologies, that is what you should be knowing got down the line. I mean the next 40 days or 45 days or we will be spending on this course is like you would be knowing about the traditional techniques which is available in the market. At the same time you would be taking out to your cloud technologies and set of tools which are available to expose the data in viewable format, readable format, and gives an information to the set of other people who are dependent on us being an engineer. So third part, we are also covering data lakes. Data lakes, as simple as if you ask me down the line, data lakes is nothing but storage. Earlier you had a intention like you store a data in your databases, you store a data in data warehousing. Now there is a concept which regards to a storage, they introduced as a data lakes. So you would be using a different set of tools using a Databricks and SD Insight for these data lakes. That means Databricks is one of the analyzing techniques for your huge data, and SD Insight is on the Hadoop side. You're also learning that by a storage account. With the storage account is data lakes. So couple of explore we are going to explore on the data lakes part that is there. And fourth part, data factory. Data factory is, if you ask me down the line, maybe we'll when we doing it the actual components and what you're able to understand. One word, if I tell you like data factory is a medium for you to pass out your data. If you ask me down the line, so I'll just show you one of the snap, then you'll understand. See this? Able to see my screen? I'm showing some snap data lifecycle on the left hand side. Able to see,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what I was trying to tell you on the data factory, I mean, your this is the first part. Let me point it. This is your data life cycle. No matter what, you're going to follow this type of methodology in your data life cycle when you are performing your Azure data engineering concepts. So your sources are might be multiple. I mean, you have no idea and you have no control that I can get this raw data. If you see on the left hand side, being I'm a data engineer, firstly I'm at this position, I get a raw data, and that raw data is coming from which sources. Your sources are different. It might be an image, it might be a social media, it might be IoT, it might be a cloud, it might be a graph, it might be a CRM, it might be a log, anything. So that level of passing out your ingestion techniques is possible only by data factory. Data factory has around 60, more than 60 sources. It has a ability that you can convert. You- Likewise you can see 8 or 6, right? So likewise you can get the data from 60 different sources. So data factory will analyze your ingestion techniques, what it will do, and no matter what, we'll be doing set of things on data factory also. And just giving an overview, like when you talk about these diagram about your data life cycle and moving on to your, it's just a layman language I have put it in across here, is you see a raw data, and when you which you get it from the customer, that you're going to pull with what technology you're going to pull is more important, and that we'll be learning. And what you'll do after getting a raw data, being a data engineer, you will massage the data. You convert the raw data into semi prepared data. Likewise, like you add some timeline, you add some audit so that it should be in a readable format. Then what you do
Your voice is not clear, so it is
that's
breaking.
what you do as a part of your second. Then you convert that prepared data. Definitely you're going to use the tools. I'm not talking about any tools here. I'm just giving a rough idea.
No, your voice is breaking.
I'm just giving a rough idea. Is going disconnected. Hello. Not
Uh,
hello.
Hello.
Hello. Guys, it's audible.
Yeah, now
Yes,
you
yes. Now it's
Better, right? Compared to earlier. I had some network issues on my side. Fine. So what I was talking about, let me take you to the PPT again. Yeah. So you semi-prepare the data, what you get from a raw data, then you make sure that what is exactly required for your business. You will prepare some information as per your logic. No matter what, in the recent technologies, what technology in the recent technology, what you're going to use it down the line, like you would be uh, using a Python libraries, or you can use SQL. So for our course, the requirement is SQL is sufficient, and a couple of requirements which are there down the line on the Python, that also I'll teach you. So nothing to worry on that part. Like if you are zero at Python or something, people have might be knowing about the SQL definitely. If anyone don't know also, that's fine. So we'll at least basic knowledge we should be required. Then finally what you do, like you prepare a report, and that should be visible to your business intelligent engineers and data scientists. Then you prepare a dashboard, then you prepare statistics, then you prepare a models that should be exposure. That's what I mentioned in the beginning of our class. Like you are the mediator for these people. Then that's the information that you're going to provide it. So down the line, let me take you to the earlier one, what we are going to cover here itself.
Okay, Suresh, can you go on that slide, previous slide, which we are discussing?
Sure, man.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, this one. So
Hmm.
what kind of tools we are using to achieve this thing?
We are using in that's what I was talking about. We are
Hmm.
using a tool. We are using Azure Databricks.
Okay.
Okay. We are going to use some data lakes technologies. We
Hmm.
are going to use some data factories. We are going to use
Hmm.
Hadoop. Hadoop. You are from a Hadoop, right?
No, no, no,
So
no. I am from SQL Server side.
from SQL Server. So we'll be
Yeah.
using ingestion techniques, the data breaks or data lakes or data factory. So
Okay.
Kafka also will be learning at the
Hmm.
same time. Azure Apache Spark also will be learning. So this gives you down the line what exactly required for you being prepared for the report.
So
So
this overall means this overall life cycle is containing overall end-to-end project life cycle.
that is exactly if we talk about me data engineer, I'll be sitting in between. I'll be using all these ingestion techniques. Tools
Okay,
I'm
so
going to
where
use.
we fit into this criteria?
Criteria is exactly you're standing in middleman,
Mm-hmm.
standing in middle, and you being you are data engineer, you get a raw data. Okay.
Okay.
Then you whatever the raw data is coming from different sources. It may be anything. It may be a graph, it may be image, it may be a social media data, or it may be IoT data, it may be a cloud data.
Mm-hmm.
With that data, with that raw data, what you're going to do, you have to have at the end of the day, you have to have some report to be generated. Then across all these techniques, as simple as if you know ETL,
Mm-hmm.
any idea on the ETL?
Yes, yes. I will load.
Yeah, ETL is
Mm.
something like you extract, you transform, you load, right?
Yes.
You performing those ETL operations to where? Data warehousing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Actually,
before
right now we are using enterprise data warehouse, right? Where we
perfect,
are using ETL tool as SSIS, and for some OLAP cubes we are using this SIS, and for reporting we are using Tableau, right?
correct,
Previously
correct.
we are using SSRS, but recently we replaced with Tableau all the
Uh-huh.
reports on the dashboard into this. So actually, I want to know the exact difference. That what is the difference between this kind of implementation and whatever we have previously, means a
Simple.
traditional kind of thing.
Traditionally, we had a limitations on the data size, right? Earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also there was some restrictions like if you have sources, one or two is fine, man. See, if you
Mm-hmm.
see this diagram,
Mm-hmm.
now I have a source which is coming from Excel and
Mm-hmm.
other part is from database. Okay,
Right.
now I'm
Right.
pumping out my data into some of the storage. My
Mm-hmm.
storage earlier it was a database, earlier it was I mean some disk or somewhere I'm putting out data, right? Now when I'm
Mm-hmm.
using Azure Data Lake storage, there
Mm-hmm.
are some limitations earlier for us, like whatever the huge data which is coming out for you. So I give an
Mm-hmm.
example because why I said about ETL, when you are talking about ETL, before you load the data into data warehousing, earlier you are extracting the data from the different sources. Like here,
Mm-hmm.
you get a data from CSV, you get a data from database, you get a data from different any type of technologies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say about my Azure data engineering techniques, I would be transforming into data warehousing by using all my ingestion techniques. Okay. This is
Okay.
all your data, and at the end of the day, my job is to make a reports, and that should be exposed to analytical data, and that should be
Mm-hmm.
available to the users in terms of readable format. Maybe I'll create a report. I'll be using a tools. Definitely, I'll be using a tool, but some level of tech coding I should be knowing with the help of Spark. Apache Spark will be using it. Python libraries definitely will be using Python libraries. Pandas will be using it inside that. So that will gives you what you can streamline the data to be a very concise and which is unwanted details you can remove it. That's only the thing I can tell.
No, no, no. But Suresh, actually, in traditional kind of enterprise data warehouse, if we create, we are follow the same things which we are discussing here, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the same thing we are follow. So
So
exactly
are we
where
using any
we
tools
have the
there?
gap.
Are we using any data factories?
No, no, no. The data factory is some kind of the new concept to store the
Correct.
data, right? Right.
Correct. Ah,
But still we are using something no, for storing the data.
so that's what, like in your data factory,
Hmm.
earlier your sources were limited. I mean, you
Hmm.
can pump the data into your data storage. There were
Hmm.
I can get the source from 3 to 4. Now data
Okay.
factory which is given a invention to you, like you can take more than 60 to 65 sources that you can
Hmm.
pump the data into your storage.
Okay.
That is the one added advantage here.
Okay.
Earlier it was not there. Now
Hmm.
data lakes is like, earlier you were storing your data into databases or data warehouses, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now I talk about data lakes. I'm
Hmm.
storing into some storage level accounts where there was no stopping point for me, on the data size.
Hmm.
So that is on the data lake side. Now if you talk on the next part,
Hmm.
Hadoop basics that we'll be talking about, but Hadoop basics it's not exactly required for us, but what I have added, and they removed from they removed from 203, but just added Azure basics, some Azure clouds using SD Insights tools also we are doing out. We'll be understanding like SD Insights, how your Hadoop is making easy, and we'll be going to some sub couple of demos using your data from your data lakes.
Okay.
So Cosmos DB is something like, you heard about Cosmos DB?
Yes, I heard about that, but I never worked on this.
Cosmos DB is something like it's a new database,
Hmm.
and it's a cross functionality. It is available irrespective it is NoSQL or it is SQL. You have a
Hmm.
Cosmos DB which is able to support you, that you will get the data into documents, you'll get the data into containers, you'll put it, and you will have a several techniques in terms of your data life cycle.
So
No
this is
matter what.
proprietary software for Microsoft or something else?
Yes, from Microsoft only.
Microsoft only. Okay. And this
Yes.
is
So
available on only on cloud.
yes, it is available only on cloud.
Okay.
So the earlier you were, now you're doing with your existing environment with your all traditional techniques, right? What they did,
Hmm.
I'll tell you honestly,
Hmm.
they added some tools. Okay,
Hmm.
the limitation which what we have on the data side, irrespective of whatever the source, whatever the
Hmm.
size of it,
Hmm.
and what he did, the smartest way of Microsoft is like, earlier he was only thinking about only Microsoft products it will support, only
Yes.
RDBMS it will support, only
Yes. Yes.
structured thing will support. No one is
Hmm.
coming to him, right? No one, even none of the enterprise customers who thinks that only Linux will make you a very secure data. He
Hmm.
opened gates for other people also. Everyone
Yeah.
can come and do there. So that's
Yeah.
that's the additional part.
Actually,
Your
everybody using hybrid technology
correct,
nowadays.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
So that's what he did it for a data engineering.
Hmm.
He did not kept any limitation for that, boss. You can't use these services, which is not available on the Microsoft side, and you're not. He entangled and he got a coincide with his technology, his business bonding or business deal with the other set of companies also, to make his company hybrid, to make his product hybrid.
Yeah.
That's the difference I can tell you. I hope you
Hmm.
got the point clear, which was asking me in the beginning. Clear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Others, are you people are in sync with me? I mean, what I was exactly trying, and what Vivek asked. Vivek, right? Vivek,
Sorry?
right? Yeah. What
Yeah. Yeah.
Vivek asked the question, he's moreover, what questions he asked, it should be clarified to you as well. Good that he point to the consideration what makes us to learn this point. Yes, because if you have a clarity what I'm learning earlier, what I don't know, what I'm doing, it would going to have a productive. So that's how you can explore your set of things. So these other set of technologies we will be speaking out, guys. So what I can say, I'll take it this way. Storage services will be speaking. Databricks is one of uh, the hot cake, and which is going to be important one, because we will be talking more on the Databricks basic concepts of the 200 they introduced in 200, then they evolved with 201 and 203 also. Now the most eligible things about your ingestion techniques is nothing but your Databricks and synapses. So intended audience, like you can make sure that you it is not a limitation that you would be only the one who is not across with the data engineering is also going to use database administrator, data analyst, or engineers, scientists, developers, anyone who is looking forward to learn Azure Data Engineering as a career, they can come across and they can learn this course. And also they can start even if you're a fresher also, they can make sure that we can learn. And I have not added the prerequisites. One more point is like Python. I'll be going to not just a basic thing. I'll be going to teach you what it is required for your ingestion whenever you're doing some libraries making use of that part. I'll take one session on that part, so that is sufficient enough to know the thing. Overview, like understanding that, I hope that you should be knowing some basic database TSQL concepts. So this is the thing which I would like to
Hey, Suresh, your voice is gone.
course in detail is like you will be knowing the advantages when I talk about Azure SQL Server. Priya, one second. Yeah, there's some disturbance. So we'll be talking about SQL Server. What all things that you're going to learn? I just overviewed that part here. Advantages of SQL databases over your on-premises. Anyone is working on PaaS side in our batch? Those people should be knowing it very well. Out of you all, 3 to 4 people, anyone is working on a PaaS side, like a database side,
Yeah,
Azure
yeah.
database? Yeah. So these things should be already aware of you. But so for the people who don't know, for them also, because we are going to do some a level of ingestion techniques by using a database, and you pump this database data into your Databricks by using your data factory. That also we're going to use it. So basically, how you do a migration, right? So that copy of a data with your data factory, how that part you're going to do. So that for that, the people who don't know a database also, I just added a couple of content here on the database side, like Azure SQL Server. Uh, that's first part, and secondly, like Synapses Analytics. This is one of the technology like which is given a formally known as your data warehousing concept, but advantages running this Synapses Analytics is something like how you're going to do a big data analytics, how you're going to provide your experience to your ingestion techniques, or you going to prepare, you will manage, you serve the data for your machine learning needs and a BI also. You would be talking about some architectures over a period of time, some concepts, what you know, uh, the basic understanding about data distribution and how you do a sharding and how you do a partitioning also we are going to learn in the synapses part, and different migration methods and best practices, and poly based setup also we'll be learning it, like how with a different set of sources which is coming out to it. And this poly based setup is not only for one of the RDBMS part, it just over a period of time it has got introduced other set of technology which is not a structured one, it is unstructured or a semi structured. You can make use of that poly based setup which is exposed by Azure Microsoft Technologies. So these things will be doing on the Synapses side. And gen 1 is got deprecated, but it is some why I've added, because some of the customers who are still using gen 1,
Suresh, you
though,
are sharing your screen?
yeah, it is not visible.
No, no, it's not visible.
Okay, I mean, it looks like it stopped. Yeah, I was just showing these things. I mean, the course in detail, I just mentioned it. So from the
So Suresh, actually I have a query here. So what is the
ah,
percentage of practical and theory in this course?
it is 60-40. It will be 40% will be your theory, 60% more will be on practical.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
you would be
Yeah.
doing, oh man, like it's but obvious. You can't just
Hmm.
go through the theory because we will be learning something on theory part. Then providing that, I'll be taking. I hope you everyone had an access to your portal, right?
Yeah.
Then that suffice our needs. That is there. Then we have. Are you people are going to use your office accounts or you have a free tire or any pay as you go?
No, going to for this training we are using this free tire, no?
Free tire only. Fine, then no problem. That
Yeah.
is fine. Other everyone is having a free tire. If you have that, then our job will going to be easy. I mean, if you are going to do with me when I'm taking, that is going to be helpful. I mean, no need to wait for again spare extra time to do a practicals for that. We'll do simultaneously. Like what I'll be taking. Like suppose if you are taking 1 hour session on a daily basis, 15 to 20 minutes we'll talk on slides. Okay, I
So
have
for this training we are using two account Microsoft Azure and Databricks or only for
no,
Azure?
only one account, only one account.
Okay,
Databricks
fine.
account you can use the same account to Databricks, even
Okay.
Data Factory also. Even
Mm-hmm.
synapses. So all the services you can entangled with a only one account. That is fine. No
Okay.
need to use
Okay.
two accounts. So that is fine
Okay.
for us.
So we need
Yeah,
only Microsoft Azure account for this.
that's fine. That's fine, man.
Okay. Fine.
So these set of things I was talking about. So these most of the concepts what he did now with the Microsoft, which the certification which it got expired now 200 201 203 is exactly of your 200 and 201 just only added some ingestion techniques in detail. So what I did in our course and our curriculum, like I make sure that it should be visible to you in all the ways. So these a couple of terminologies I just take 10 minutes more, then we'll stop. Accordingly we'll have some questions. So over a period of time, some the traditional method of data engineering concepts, the traditional method of your RDBMS or a database management techniques. So by introducing your data engineering, I want you to know some level of understanding on the some level of understanding on your about data terminologies or your normalization. Anyone have an idea on normalization part? If you know normalization, then it is going to use an ETL. I just wanted to know any idea on normalization. We don't remember the concepts. Hello, can you hear me right?
Yes, Suresh.
Hello. Yeah. Any idea on normalization? We learned in engineering days, but I don't know if anyone can remember. If you know normalization, probably like I can pull you into ETL part. So we learn about the tools. We over a period of time we forget that, but that makes our basics stronger. So what we are going to look about this part on the data engineering concepts. Your data source is like, as I mentioned, in your life cycle, your data source is varied from a different possible ways. It's just one source you are getting. As I mentioned, you will be getting from data from your Excel database, your Facebook or Insta or Twitter, any of the social platforms. So that is how. And types of data source you have it down the line, like social networking, social bookmarking, social data sharing, blogging, microblogging, wikis. This is all your data sources. So with a huge data which is increasing drastically, how you're going to subsequently show to your uh, ingestion techniques, how you're going to analyze and how you're going to create a report down the line, and which is going to improve my business lines, do whatever business what I have it irrespective. I require to have some analysis, I require to have some data over a period of time what went throughout. So that is what you're going to learn. So the examples to make you aware, like the terminologies, like you should be knowing about the data terminologies. If you see the symbol here, the right side symbol is for ETL and the left hand symbol is for data ingestion. What you did in ETL, the same thing you're going to do in ingestion, but ingestion comes with the added advantage, like it added advantage which you did not see in your ETL, which you're going to see in ingestion techniques of you're transforming your data into a process, and you import your data and you store a data uh, with several ingestion tools, and you are collecting it and you're importing it, you're processing it. So no matter what, it is one of the only acceptable way of any source you're collecting, any type of data is collecting. So various sources, it can be cleaned, it can be altered, it can be understood. So just I've shown you the terminologies across your data engineering is you do a data ingestion part is on the first part. So just diagram tells you like what is whatever the data is going to collect it, and at the end you are subsequently you're going to have analytics, or you're going to have some report for your data scientist or a BI engineers. So that is what you're going to do. And transformation, for how you're going to transform a data, what you are going to use here to transform your data, and how you're going to load the data. So these are some terminologies just added here to just make you aware, like before if we are starting our course. So I want you to aware that some terminologies which are available for engineering techniques. So whatever I covered in the first PPT, that is all about your course. And including that, you should be knowing some knowledge on the ingestion techniques, some transformation. So this is a snap which tells you about how you get the data to your storage and with what technology you are using it. And logic apps is something like which is again some application which is available on the Azure side. So it is depends on your requirement. I it is not we're not going to cover in logic apps. Logic apps is exactly on the function side, so that is not required for a data engineering. Not even you are using it as a part of as your role. So these data factories, data bricks, and data flow and data warehousing, Azure, that we are going to cover it. So Power BI, some concepts on the Power BI also we are covering it because it is exactly they added in 203. So we are going to speak on Power BI concepts. So analyze this we spoke earlier only. So this is actual data life cycle, and I've compared with a native method to understand like what we're going to do here, irrespective of whatever the raw data you have it. So the analysis, the transformation, the ingestion, and at the end like what you're required to have a communication with your set of counterparts on your data what you're going to analyze. And you start collecting and you clean it and you analyze it and you interpret the results and you apply them to the business. The over a period of time the process is going to be same what you know, but how you're going to do and how faster you're going to do it, it's not, it's like you will create some model and you repeatedly you won't do anything down the line. So some level of things which you already know, I just shown you here. You should be knowing an idea on the data flow, you should be knowing on the data modeling, you should be knowing on how your data is normalized and how you clean the data. So couple of things I just added here. It is not to explain you, like it is one of the class session. So we will be talking in detail about with the examples also, how you do a data modeling, how do you do a normalization in terms of data using ETL techniques, and how do you clean the data with example also that we are going to do it. So just I've added a snap here. Yeah, see the last snap. You do a lot of pipelining. That's one of the one of the important role of your being a data engineer. You do a lot of pipelining. If you see down the line your data sources, it is a structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Then you take that to your data ingestion techniques. I'm not talking about any tool now, I'm just showing the pipelining how you're going to use. So it is going to store in your data as a part of your story, then you cleaned it, then you transformed it, then you analyze it, you provide finally to the data BI engineers or a data scientist as a visualization. So across over a period of time, whatever the process which you see on the pipelining, you do a lot of pipelining techniques. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, the last part, storage, which you talk about data lakes. So just like as I mentioned, right, why we are thinking about data lakes. you know databases, you know data warehousing. Then it comes to your storage part, a data lake. So when you have a huge size or there is no control on the data and there is scalability, reliability, and security which is available for Azure side, so you have to show it to the customer if when he is migrating it to Azure and he start using some level of technologies on the Azure side, definitely you have these set of technologies on AWS also. If you ask me AWS data engineering, yes, it is also available with different tools and security. It's much more convenient pricing and pricing and designing of your database or your business is much more cheaper compared to your AWS. If you ask me, some of the people already know. So just giving an idea because I work for both the technologies, irrespective of it is whatever project is. So my experience is for on a AWS data engineering, on Azure data engineering is like Azure goes with the less cost and it is convenient for the small set of customers who is an enterprise. For them also they enabled some level of storage side of context also. So down the line it is going to helpful for us. So if you are thinking in this context, so most of the products which we are running into the market are belongs to a Microsoft. So Microsoft has made an intuitions in such a way that it should be available for everyone who is there on down the line on the business side. So that is all about our demo, and we will be covering the concept which we talk as Vivek asked me like about how we are going to cover. So definitely we will be covering some concepts on theoretical base. Definitely I'll be providing notes what I have with me. So with the notes we would be also talking about the lab. So that is one thing I can say. So these things is already know couple of tools. Any tools you people have used from this ETL tools? Apache NiFi or Informatica Talent? Anyone use these tools?
Spark
This
we are
ETL
I know
tool?
using.
NiFi. I know
NiFi, you
NiFi.
know? Okay, cool. So couple of exposure on the set of tools on data warehousing tools all we'll be using it. So this is one of the class which we'll be talking about. And I mean, I am cleared with my demo part. Just to make you aware, overall, over a period of time, what we spent here, what we are going to cover, and what you know already. And apart from that, exactly the technology which are available, which are exposed by Microsoft, which is going to help you down the line for your jobs. So that is how from my end. Now you can ask me any questions you have it.
So for workflow,
Hello.
what tool we are going to use?
Sorry.
So for workflow.
No, I didn't. Hello.
Like
No,
Apache workflow, we will use that. Like that, he's asking.
Okay, okay. Spark we will be using it, Vivek.
okay.
Apache Spark we have it. Spark will be using it. That is also we'll be learning the technology. And Kafka also I have added in this course. Some people have in the last batch, some people are required to understand about Kafka also. So Kafka also have added, including your microservices. Anyone idea on the microservices? Microservices also have added for that, including your Kafka, Apache Kafka. So we'll be talking about those things in our course. Any other questions? It's good to have an interaction. Why? Because some people already having an idea and it is going to give a good exposure for everyone. Some people don't know, some people know it from the scratch. It is going to help down the line. So this is all about from my end. So if you have any questions you can say, then or else we can stop for the session for a
After
demo.
this, after this training, after this course completion, can we do, means can we survive like with this training? We can do ingestions and all the things in our projects or how?
Definitely we can do. Definitely we can do.
Because
Because we'll
on
be adding.
coding side, not much good also we can do, or how it is. That's what my.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. If you have a basic TSQL and TSQL knowledge, that is sufficient. I am going to take 1 or 2 sessions on the Python side, what it is required for your course and for your job also. If you really want to serve, it is going to help you. It is not it that's what the the audience for this set of course is not something you should be a it is not something rocket science which you don't know. Someone has created a tool, and some you should be knowing some level of understanding on the coding. If you know looking at the code and you should be understanding, that is fine. You'll be able to survive definitely. I mean, there are a couple of people which I already took it. I mean, around now it is your, this is, I think last was 15 batch, now it is 16 batch with you people. So whoever who started with your data engineering course, and they are surviving now. Not they what they, some people are from data admin, database admin, now they are in the data engineering. So it is
Mm.
going to help for them in one way on the exposure side and for the jobs perspective also.
Okay. So before that, we need to means we need to be create a Microsoft Azure account. You are saying.
Yeah, that is requirement because we have to do a practicals down the line. Though 1 month free trial is there, we can use that 1 month free trial for 12 months also, but in a pay as you go model. But we can do that. We would require that free account, right? Because if you don't know the practice, then with the class which is going on, then it is going to be difficult, right?
Yeah.
That's what. Fine, Ganesh, I've done from my end. Anything is there from you? See if I can.
From my end, nothing. Vivek and Surya, do you have any other questions?
No, it's okay for the day.
No.
Yeah, we will think over this course and let you know on this, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek.